The retail and property sectors are a pillar of the Philippine economy, with consumer spending making up nearly 70% of GDP. Even with moderate growth at 5.4% in the first half and inflation still within expectations, developers face pressure from changing shopping habits and rising costs. SM Supermalls, the country's largest retail and commercial property network, is responding with a 150 billion peso expansion and redevelopment plan. Joining us now is Stephen Tan, president of SM Supermalls, to give us a front row view into the state of the Filipino consumer and where retail is headed next. Hi, Stephen. Thank you for being here with us.
Good day, Mikey. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, Stephen, you just got your January to August figures. Tenant sales are up 9% year on year. As retail strength often mirrors the broader economy, what does this tell you about where we are now?
Okay, I'm pretty excited for the balance of another 4 months into December, because we all know that the Burr months has always been very dynamic. No? Well, the first 8 months until end of August, we projected that was really, we hit the budget because that was our projection to grow 9% no, in terms of sales. No? So it is way above the GDP. Therefore, I strongly believe that, Philippines being a consumer-driven economy, we're still good.
Yeah, interesting to note. GDP in the first half came in at 5.4%. Your tenant sales are up 9% year on year. What does this tell you about where we are? And this, you guys move faster. Your tenant sales are faster than our GDP. What does this tell us, Stephen?
That really means there is really a vote of confidence in the Filipino consumer, right? We all know that the Filipino people are very resilient. No matter what the problem they are facing, they would still, go out and bond with their family and friends. So we're good in terms of the retail sector for the balance of the year.
Yeah, the demand is there. So 9%, that was really your target from January to August. What's your full year's target, Stephen?
The full year target is really at 9%, no, until December.
Okay, and you see yourselves hitting that or possibly exceeding it?
Yes, because we started early this year, no? As early as September 1, we already have, Christmas songs playing in our malls. The halls are decked with Christmas decors. So it's really exciting. If you go to the malls right now, you see people started shopping, getting into the mood of the holiday season.
What are the categories holding strong, Stephen, and where are the weak spots?
Okay, I still feel that anything that is experience driven or the likes of experience can come in the form of food discovery of new product, the Peter Pan economy, which is exploring your inner child. That's why the likes of Pop Mart, Labubus, Miniso, KKV, these are all categories doing extremely well, way above 10%. So we feel that Filipino people, especially the Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas, no, they really are looking more into surprises, experiences, pleasure, and joy in opening a box. No? The one that's lagging is slightly behind, although it's still growing at a modest of around 6%, would be fashion.
Interesting that the focus now has shifted from millennials to Gen Z and Gen Alpha. What does this tell you, Stephen?
It's completely different. We thought that listening to the millennials are the way of the future, but the Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas are even more discerning than the older millennials. No, they really wanted to explore. They cannot be fooled. They're very wise and they're very fast, very agile. What is doing well today does not guarantee that it will do well tomorrow. The shift is just too fast right now. So you have to really put your ears on the ground and be very, very agile.
Yeah, speaking of that shift, you mentioned earlier that fashion, the growth for fashion is a little more conservative now as Gen Z and Gen Alpha dominate. What does this tell you, that the shift is now towards more experiential driven expenses rather than fashion, which used to be such a strong pillar.
Yes, that is correctly well said. No, fashion. If you look at it, you have to. When we drill it down, no, the likes of what you wear to parties and to dress up. That has slow. It has a slight. The growth is not as encouraging as the others like wellness and fitness, like the on running shoes, the Asics Tiger, the Nike, the Adidas. No, these are all still doing well because they are not just for sports. People go out now on weekends wearing gym shorts or gym shirts, right? And trainers instead of wearing heels or dresses. No, so we see that shift happening. No, it's very interesting. So that's why also the product mix in our malls have slightly also adapted to that.
And as we look ahead, Stephen, can't help but notice geopolitical factors, geopolitical risks, because your supply chains are affected very much by this. What are the biggest geopolitical risks on the horizon for you?
It's really the supply. That's what we worry about. As long as the lawmakers or could protect the supply issues, I think we're good. Because I'm sure you still remember that a couple of years ago when we had the Russian war, there was a shortage of McDonald's fries, no, because of the potatoes. So those are things that really we should all be wary of.
Yeah, especially how it hits the MSMEs. They get hit the hardest with these things. Okay, Stephen, on expansion and redevelopment, SM is committing to 150 billion pesos over the next 5 years to new malls and redevelopments. What does this scale of investment signal about your long-term view of the Philippine consumer and property market?
Okay. That 150 billion is spread out towards for 5 years, no? And half of it would be new malls, new shopping centers that we are opening, not just in Metro Manila, but also in Visayas and Mindanao. But the other half is also, the other half of the 150 billion would be for redevelopment and expansions, no? There's a lot of our shopping centers that are really poised for redevelopment and expansions already. We always wanted to give a fresh look into our shopping centers. You always have to surprise your consumer. That's why we're doing what we are doing. It's really a vote of confidence to the Filipino people.
Yeah, you've got Santa Rosa, Nuvali in 2026, Harrison Plaza 2027, Malolos, Bulacan 2028, Cavite 2029, and Pasay in 2030. You're like an explorer looking for a new frontier, Stephen. How do you know where to go?
Okay, we do have a very thorough study of the Philippines. No, we have a division that really solely look into opportunities. No, there's a lot of factors it's the growth of the GDP in that particular province, number of banks, increasing number of population, because there's also a shift. No, there are a lot of people who used to work in Metro Manila who goes back to the province. No? So there are also job opportunities that we can provide when we expand our footprint into the provinces.
Yeah, when there is an SM mall there, you know that domestic economy is pretty robust. Another question. You have this down to a science, but maybe you could tell us a little bit more about it. How do you know when it's time to refresh an older mall?
Okay. Every 5 years, we do a slight refresh. So if a mall is operating into its fifth year, you have a fresh coat of paint and maybe change some lightings. No? But when you reach the age of 8 years, you start planning for your redevelopment. Meaning, you would have to maybe change some zoning, a complete renovation, and maybe expand to a new wing, no? Just like what happened to Mega Mall, right? Mega Mall, we used to have building A and building B. And when we thought that, the time is right, then we expanded Mega Mall, the Mega Fashion Hall, which is being shown on TV right now on the screen. That's the Mega Fashion Hall, right? So in Mega Fashion Hall, when we open Mega Fashion Hall, it's a different take of retail because you have all the global first, the first H&M in the country, the Tim Ho Wan, the Tin Tai Fungs. So we provided this now, but now it is poised again for another redevelopment and expansion. We're putting up a beautiful sky park on top of Mega Mall, covered so that the natural lighting could come in still, but without the heat. So it's a technology that is being used in Singapore right now in Marinas
Gardens by the
Gardens by
Bay.
the Bay. Yes, no, and so it's the same technology that we're bringing here into the Philippines first time, so people could experience a beautiful park like in an outdoor park with without the hassle of the heat.
That's what's important. We get the outdoors without the intensity of the sun.
Yes.
Stephen, you've been at the helm of SM Supermalls since 2020. So much to learn from you. What specifically can entrepreneurs, property developers, landlords learn about reinvention and keeping assets relevant?
Okay, you always have to put your ears on the ground. Listen to your consumers because they will dictate who you will become. It's always constant communication, whether with your customers or even your tenant partners. No, so working together with the community, giving them what's up and coming, what you have learned globally, and apply it locally. Those are the things that is really important. At the end of the day, the consumer is king. So give what they want.
Yeah, okay. On another innovation front, there's the digital integration. E-commerce is growing, but malls are central to Filipino life. What's the right hybrid model as people integrate digital and physical to serve today's consumer? What do you think is the right mix of phygital?
Okay, the future of shopping centers or retail, no, really is digital. It doesn't mean that you'll go full scale on e-commerce. No, it is actually to give options to your consumer and make their shopping experience faster, more efficient, and more pleasurable, so that they could dwell in your shopping center leisurely and seamlessly. No, I'll give you an example for that. No, if if you want to watch a movie, you go to the mall, buy a ticket, you fall into the line. Those days are gone. You could just go to the SM web or app. Check the movie schedules. You can even watch a trailer, and then you buy your ticket online, and then you just go to the mall and watch movies. So it saves you a lot of time. It gives you so much convenience. So these are all doing digitalization in terms of giving convenience and the experience to your consumer.
Right. Speaking of the consumer, we want to get some insights. You have so much with your a plethora of malls, Stephen. Which of your malls has the highest sales per square meter?
Mall of Asia.
Mall of Asia. Okay. What do you think contributes to that?
It is a destination mall, no? So people really go all the way. We did that sampling on who are really the customers of Mall of Asia. It varied so much, and this week could differ from next week. No, you see people from Bulacan, Pampanga, and even all the way down the north area to just go to Mall of Asia, especially on weekends. No, so if they go to Mall of Asia, it has to be worth their while. So they would really consume, they would eat, they would shop. No, so I think that is the difference between Mall of Asia's behavior, shopping behavior, to the rest of the SM Supermalls.
SM Supermall with the highest foot traffic.
North EDSA.
Okay,
because
so
it's so Quezon City. We all know that there's a lot of people, no, whether on weekdays by students or by the neighborhood. On weekends, it's also a destination mall that you have people all the way from Fairview going into North EDSA. So North EDSA would have the highest footfall.
Interesting. So they make Lacuacha in North EDSA, but they shop in MOA. That's where the shoppers are. Speaking of the shoppers, are they necessarily high net worth individuals? What would you say is the demographic of the people that shop at MOA, and what unique insights can businesses get from them and their preferences?
Okay, in Mall of or even SM in general, we do not really discriminate. No, we welcome everyone. That's why our tagline has always been like, "We've got it all for you," and now it's all for you. We're doing it all for you, right? So it's very varied. If you look into the people inside Mall of Asia, they could just, it could be a family from the province who traveled all the way to Mall of Asia just to have their Jollibees or even a cup of, a scoop of ice cream, no? And then they just wander around. But you also have a lot of tourists flying in. They spend more money. And even, they sometimes the likes of the Navy ships, like the USS George Washington, would dock here in Mall of Asia, and then they would go there and spend all their hard-earned dollars into the shopping center. No, so it's quite varied what we have in the customer mix of Mall of Asia.
Yeah, you have something for everybody. What's the fastest growing mall, Stephen, in terms of growth in occupancy and tenant expansion?
Okay, I mean, we're very lucky, no, because I think our average occupancy for the mall across the whole area is 95%, or we're for 95% filled up, no. But we see still a lot of demand for these big malls, the giant malls, no, the likes of Mega Mall, Mall of Asia, North EDSA, Fairview, Pampanga. These are all high demand in terms of you expand today, tomorrow, all the spaces are gone. It's all taken up. So the bigger malls really have very fast demand in terms of people wanting to do business inside.
And when you say North EDSA has the highest foot traffic, how high is high, Stephen?
Oh, it can really, it's an average of around 350,000 every day, daily footfall. It's around 350,000 consistently. Yeah, that's like Monday to Sunday. Sunday on weekends it can go up to 400, 450. No, but that's on both on weekdays and weekends.
With demand expected to pick up for the holidays. Stephen, what's the most surprising consumer trend you've seen this year?
Well, people are taking care of themselves very. That's why the cosmetic and the self-care economy, no, skincare, that's showing a lot of growth also and interest. Healthy living, clean living. That's why we have the stores like Healthy Options, and we will open in New Valley. Heyday will go in. So all these natural ingredients, fresh produce, health and wellness product, whether for skincare or for vitamins, these are growing quite fast.
And as rivals build in close proximity to your malls, how does this affect you?
We just focus on our malls. No, we of course, if there's a competitor opening next door, we also welcome that because it really serves a bigger market. No, we study them. We always try to see what they're doing, but we focus all mostly on what we are doing and how we could serve the community. Working with our community. A shopping center is you have hundreds and thousands of MSMEs inside shopping center. It's not just one giant big SM. It is a collection of all these small small medium enterprise. Work with them very closely because their success will also be your success.
And last question, Stephen. If budget wasn't an issue, what's one feature that you would like to add to one or possibly all your SM Supermalls, if budget wasn't an issue?
Okay, I would say maybe like a huge fountain or waterfalls inside the shopping center, because that could really be quite pleasing. You have this cooling effect of water, but we all know that the electricity is such a big burden here in our country. That's one of our, compared to our other Asian countries, the electricity rate is higher. So pumping up water is something that would cost us a lot. No, that's why we also try to innovate. In Mall of Asia, you have a giant LED screen, that looks like an aquarium. So those are the things that, okay, since you cannot get water feature inside your mall or a huge fountain, then you simulate it with an LBED screen.
Yeah, as your saying goes, at SM, you guys find ways. Thank you so much for your time, Stephen Tan, the president of SM Supermalls.
Thank you very much, Mikey.